Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming out to join us today. We're excited about the Craigslist training that we're about to share with you. A little bit about me. My name is Rachel Kelly. I am the Fearless Online Entrepreneur. And the group that you have came to visit is a mastermind group that I put together to empower, encourage, educate, and train other entrepreneurs to step out of their comfort zone and become all that they are created to be. And today we have the lovely Scarlett Rogers, who is going to be doing a Craigslist training for us this afternoon. And before we introduce you to Scarlett and the training that we have, I would like to introduce you also to my panel, a group of wonderful, awesome ladies who, and I know you see Lucky there, but it's a lady behind that picture. A group of the awesome ladies who have joined with me to make the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs what it is today. First, I want to, if you all can just come out and do a quick introduction of yourself before we turn the panel over to Scarlett, starting with Deborah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Deborah Barton Burton from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am the owner of 4 Steps to Success, who is joint ventured with the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs to help everyone become better than what they are right now.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Jody.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Awesome. I have my own business called Home Party Coach, and I've joined with this mastermind group just to, be part of a group where we're all learning and growing together and not only just moving ourselves forward, but our teams as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that introduction, Jody. So glad to have you a part of the group. Sharon, would you like to come out, please? Okay, Sharon is she's in silence mode right now. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. And without further ado, before we bring Scarlett out, we want to say to you, if you're ever interested in becoming a part of our mastermind group, we meet Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Feel free to connect with either one of us. We'd be glad to have you in a part of our group. And you can also find us on Facebook. While Scarlett is doing the training, we want to encourage you to write down any questions you may have, any thoughts, any ideas you may have. We want this to be something that's going to be powerful and effective to all those who are present. So without further ado, Scarlett, you want to come out and introduce yourself, and also we are ready for what you have for us today.
Awesome, awesome. Can you hear me, Rachel?
Yes, I can hear you fine, Scarlett.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. My name is Scarlett Roger, and I have been a part of this group for just a little bit over a month, and I'm going to tell you that this is a great place to connect with other people who can, it talks about in the Bible, iron sharpens iron, just other people that are on your same page that maybe, especially if you're a team leader like myself, and so that, you can be able to connect with other leaders and be able to spur each other on. My name is Scarlett Roger. I'm from Tampa, Florida. And been online only for just about a year. My background is I was in the mortgage industry for about 17 years, and then I was in the foreclosure industry for the past 7. I was securitization auditor, foreclosure fighter is what we'd like to say. I went back to school, kind of dibbled in it about 2 years ago. I'd say in August last year, I closed my shop on doing the foreclosures. It just got too emotionally tiring. And I've come across a couple of different businesses online, and by that, I started learning how to do Craigslist. I started with Craigslist, I would say, about 3 or 4 years ago, when we were training people. I had people that were working underneath and helping reach people who are in foreclosure. So I had tasted, and over the years, Craigslist has absolutely changed. But I kind of see it as like a stepping stone for my training. So when we were doing our mastermind group that we do every Friday with these amazing, wonderful women, I started talking about, we started talking about different ways that we need to get the leads, and I didn't realize that I was really having a lot more success but until I started sharing this, because I have bought into solo ads, or I have bought into different ways to get leads, which are all great. I think that it's all a pie. This is just a piece of my pie. But the amazing thing is when I looked at my subscriber rating to when I bought ads versus when I've done this, that how much better this has been. So they asked me to share it with you. This is what works for me. I am by no means, the guru in this, and you may be watching this going, no, that doesn't work. And you know what? That's awesome. For me, this is what's been working. For me, this is how I've learned it. And I just thought maybe if I could share just what I know, it may be right, it may be wrong, it works. So this is going to be a Craigslist training ad. This could work in any type of business that you're looking for. If you're in management, you're looking to hire, for example, even when I did this before and I was looking for people to help me in the foreclosure, any type of something that you're looking to bring people onto your team, you can use this. We use this for our internet marketing, but this could be used for anything. So I'm going to start here. Some of the things that I've learned working with Craigslist, and I'm going to start with the tips. I'm going to go through this, and I'm actually going to place an ad with you so you can see how I do it. Only post a listing every 72 hours per your account. Okay? We're going to talk about having multiple accounts, but per account, only post a listing for that account every 72 hours. They say not every 2 days, every 3 days, every 72 hours. Only post in your closest city. That is because, Craigslist, let me kind of back up. Craigslist has so many different ways of looking and seeing behind the scenes. So they do things like they'll take your ads down, they will ghost your ads. If somebody complains about your ads, they don't want people doing mass marketing on Craigslist, which is what I'm getting ready to teach you. And they don't want us doing that, so they keep, every time we go here, they keep doing different things to kind of not allow you to do that. Some of the things I may teach you today, they may not allow to do that. It worked for me this weekend, but they are an ever-changing. This is what's working today for me. So only post in your closest city. Now, I have heard that people, which we will address later, may use family members to different areas. I post personally, I'm in the Tampa area, I post within the free sites closest to my area. Change your title and descriptions on each post you do. Okay, we're going to go through this, but I'm just going to give you a short little list. You're going to want to do that, and I have a Word document of every ad that I do, and I'll copy and just change the words around because, again, the is amazing. They have lots of money built into their programs to make sure that people aren't just just like blasting posts all over the place. So you're going to want to change your description and change the ad. You're not going to want to make the post too flashy. You're not going to want to draw attention from maybe your competitor or something that's going to, or even attention to them, and that you're going to get ghosted because, you do all this work, you get this ad, you think the ad's up, and then you go back and check your ads later and you don't see them. Well, that means it's been ghosted, which means the link may still be there, but they've taken it down. I've heard of people that have been kicked out of Craigslist, so you don't want that as well. Go to your area and check what they might already have up. That is something that I do. This is kind of something what I do on the weekends. I go to the areas that I will do my ads in and see who my competitors are. And sometimes I borrow some of their ads, or at least I know that what's staying up and what's not staying up, because maybe they're not letting you put work from home in your title. Or they're not letting you put foreclosure, fighter in your title. That kind of example. And then get your friends and families to post in another city. We're going to address that with the next one. But what we're here today to do is learn how to not have to post one ad, maybe two, every 3 days. But our goal is to be able to get leads. And the only way we can get more leads is to have more ads. So I'm going to show you how I set up multiple ads. One way, which we're going to see today, is I have multiple email accounts. I have a capture page and an application page. Hello? Hello? Is somebody? I think we need to. Okay. I have a Word doc that has all my ads together, like I mentioned earlier, where I'll change the title or the page so that way they don't tag it. And then again, you can ask family or friends. This is something, my kids are like, oh, what did you do? When I first sent them a text and said, hey, listen, you're going to get a text and I need you to forward it to me, they're like, for what? And I said, well, are you planning on placing a Craigslist ad for anything in the near future? Well, no. Okay, perfect, because they need it for 90 days. It's only to verify an account. Craigslist, for each account, you need an email, and they're going to verify it with a phone number. So today we're going to place an ad in Craigslist under my Scar Monday account. And I was taught this a while back, and it seemed to have worked. I have a Scar Monday and a Kev Monday, and a Scar Tuesday and a Kev Tuesday, and a Scar, So that way I have 2 accounts I really only have 4. So I only place ads 4 times a week. I will place them with 2 accounts. So that's 2 accounts a day. And I only do 2 posts, so I do 4 posts. For me, that's what I'm doing. If you want to get all crazy, you can, absolutely, but this is like I said, what works for me. I think that if I did anything more than that, I couldn't keep up with it, and I really don't want to start getting shut down, and I think it would be hard to keep up with IP addresses and with all of that. So in my house, I happen to have a couple of kids that I can do that. I've had friends that may be listening right now that goes, that's what she wanted that for. My very closest friends, they'll let me use their number. It's just to verify an account. So another thing, so now we've gotten through where we want to set up multiple Craigslist ads. We have set up multiple email accounts, okay? Like you go through, Gmail and set them up, and make sure I would have a spreadsheet or some kind of piece of paper that's keeping track of, here are my email accounts.
Scarlett, excuse me, Scarlett, are we supposed to be looking at your screen? Because we see your screen right now.
Are you serious? Oh, how did we get off my screen? Huh. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so y'all haven't seen my screen at all.
That's okay. I think we're following you okay.
Okay, perfect.
Probably show the screen. It would help.
Perfect. Okay, so to set up multiple ads, you might want to write this down. Can you see it now?
Don't see it. No.
No.
You might want to stop sharing and go back and try to share it again.
All right. Bear with me, everybody. Okay, share screen.
And probably go full screen probably is the best one.
Yep. How's that?
I don't see anything right now. Oh, there you go. Yep, we see it now.
Okay. So set up multiple ads. You will have multiple emails. It was easy for us. I just used the first 4 letters of my name and Monday. That's for me. Helped me keep track at first. My husband's first, and then Monday, and then Tuesday. That's what I was taught in a training, and it kind of worked. So once I set up my 4 emails, I then went back when I started placing the ads. When you place your ad in Craigslist at the very end, when they go to set up your account, or when they go to verify the posting, when you click on it, they're going to ask for a phone number. So you're going to want to make sure you keep track of a phone number for each of your emails. Again, a spreadsheet. You're going to want to write this down. What I did was, like I mentioned earlier, I had friends or family, ask them if they would let me use their, so they could get the text. So the text would go to them, they'd send it, and I would keep track of it that way. So that also helps you keep track of which one you're doing every day. You're going to want a capture page. What I did, which was some of the best advice that my sponsor gave me, my grant sponsor, was to set up this right here, this like an online application that we will definitely could walk you through with Aweber, or that's what I use. You could use GetResponse, but you know, when there is a form that they have to be able to have subscribers subscribe, you can edit that form. So when someone's in a Craigslist ad and they copy and paste on the browser, this is what they get. And this is what I use now for my capture page, because it kind of gets them in the mindset of, you know, what it is that they want. And so it gives you can capture their name, their email address, their phone number, etc. So that's just something that I personally use. You can also use your capture page, or whatever type of capture page, squeeze page that you may have, or you can just change it. I have in this application, I have about 5, 6 of these. I may even keep adding them, because again, Craigslist has so many programs that are trying to make sure that people aren't slamming them, that you don't want to put the same links. So we're going to go through some tips on that towards the end, but that's just one of the things that you're going to need, some sort of capture page or application page. I have a Word doc. I'm going to just share it real quick. Make it big and make it little. You know, it just with all the different stuff. So I keep track of a Word doc that I will copy the title and paste it and just change it, because if they see the same titles coming over and over, they're going to ghost you. It's just thinking outside the box and thinking ahead of them, and don't keep anything the same. Change, even if you're, like I said, on the weekends, I'll go through and look at other ads, and if there's something that might work for me, I'll copy and paste that into my Word doc, and I'll change it around a little bit. So that way you're kind of one step ahead of the game. There are programs out there that might do all of this, but I've heard that I wouldn't want to invest in something that may be obsolete tomorrow. This is what's worked for me last week. I believe when we had our panel, I showed one day I got 15 subscribers off 2 ads, okay? So it worked last week, and that was as of probably what, March 25th, 2014. So again, and then you could also ask your family and friend. This is the same one with ask your family and friends to set up your code. So let's go. How to hide your IP. I was taught, and I use one way is Firefox, and I'm going to show you how we do this when I walk you through it. We use a private window. I use that for placing Craigslist ads, and I use that for checking my email. I never used Firefox before, and I usually just use it for this, but I go into Firefox, make a new private window so they can't read my history and my cookies, and I keep that up for my ads and my emails. And to do my IP address, this is what I do, okay? I use Hotspot. Now, I've tested it, and sometimes it may come back, you know, you use your hotspot on your phone, and then you then you use your computer off your hotspot to have your internet, then you turn your phone off when you're done, wait a few minutes, turn it back on, and it changes the IP. Another way, if that makes you nervous, is if you have multiple people in your house, use multiple hotspots. Another little thing you might want to add to your Craigslist, which hotspot you're using for each ad. Yes, this sounds like setting it up may be difficult. Once you have it set up and you can just go, it becomes second nature, and you're getting free traffic to you, and that's the key here.
So,
And then,
Scarlett, question.
uh-huh.
So what you're telling us is that they don't need to go and buy a program like Hide My ASS.
Exactly.
They can actually use their cell phone as a hotspot in their house, and they can just change the hotspot, correct?
Exactly. Now,
How do they change it?
Well, when they turn their phone on and they turn their phone off, that's one way.
Okay.
Sometimes that hasn't worked for me, so I just use my husband's hotspot.
Okay.
Use
And how
my
do you
daughter's
know if
hotspot.
it's changed? How do you know if your hotspot has changed?
Okay, thank you very much. To know what your IP address is, go to your Google bar, okay, and type in what is my IP. I think there's a program, whatismyip.org. They'll give you different ones, and it'll display your IP address for you. I do that as well on my phone. So when my husband's like, "What are you doing?" Because I was taking a picture of it and then turning my phone off, turning it on, and taking it up just to make sure, But this weekend it was odd. I ended up getting the same one, so I just used my husband's. That may be something you might want to do. If you happen to have 4 people, and in this day and age everybody has a cell phone, there's a way to do it, and then you don't have a problem. You use one for each one. But they have said, and 90% of the time it has worked, that if you turn your phone off, you wait 2 minutes, you turn it back on, you then have a new IP address because you're using a new hotspot for your phone. Does that make sense, Rachel?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, Scarlett.
Okay. I used the Hide My, site, and that works as well. And I do believe you can just Google out of that to do it instead of buy, because right now we're in the business of creating wealth, not spending money, once you start doing well, and once you're at a point you want to start outsourcing, you can do that. Or you can ask your friends and family, listen, I'm going to send you an email. Would you mind placing this for me? To me, I don't know how many of mine would do that, but they might. I definitely, they didn't mind using their cell phone number, but you can ask friends and family. Or I believe, Rachel, like you just started outsourcing yours, correct? You can outsource this 100% if you want and not even do this, so that way you don't have to worry about the IP addresses. Again, I'm not in the position to do that right now, so what works for me is I do my cell phone and I change my hotspot, and I haven't gotten ghosted. So, that may not be correct, so please don't start saying that's wrong. It's working for me. And that's kind of, yes, ma'am.
So everyone understands what you're talking about. Could you explain the purpose of hiding your IP?
Yes, ma'am. Well, again, just like what we were talking about, what I mentioned in Craigslist, they have massive money being spent on trying to make sure people aren't going in and just, throwing these network marketing, because it's gotten so big. They want to make sure that people aren't out there just placing all these ads, and it's not real viable jobs, because some of these, there are some out there that don't have integrity. So they've tried to protect themselves. And by doing that, one of the ways is they track your IP address. Your IP address is like your personal fingerprint of your computer or your server. So they want to make sure that they're not having all these accounts with the same IP. So just like we want to change our accounts, we want to make sure we have multiple accounts, because you can only place an ad every 72 hours. With those accounts, you would need a phone number, an email, and an IP address. Does that sound good to you, Miss Deborah? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. The point of it is you don't want your ads to get ghosted. If you start placing ads, they're never going to come up. You can place an ad every single day, 10 times a day, but they're not going to go up, and you can get your Craigslist. I've never had it suspended, and I've never had mine closed down, but I've heard that that is what happens if you don't take the steps to create multiple accounts, therefore allowing you to place more than 2 ads every 72 hours. I like to place 4 ads a day for 5 days a week. That is what I do. People can try, if they want to do more, I would probably recommend outsourcing or trying this, but to me it just makes, I don't think I could do my business and keep up with doing this, but this is what works for me to get 3 to 15 subscribers daily.
Okay, Scarlett, I have a question for you. So you're saying 3 to 4 ads a day, which means they would have to use how many email accounts a day?
Okay, so I use I have a Scar Monday, a Kev Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That is today.
Mm-hmm.
And I place 2, you only want to do 2 posts per account. They say you can do 3. I don't push the envelope. I do 2. You can try 3 and see if it gets ghosted. But this is kind of the rules that I have learned that are within the Craigslist world that I try to stay under the radar. If I can stay under the radar, then that's good.
Okay.
You post with each account. You have to wait 72 hours. They say I only do 2 posts per account every 72 hours. So I have 2 accounts running. You can do 3. You can do, it's a lot though. I do 2 accounts, so that's 4 posts a day.
Okay. Awesome.
You might want to set up a spreadsheet to keep track of it, because then you're going to have, like, I have 8 emails that I do. If you do more than that, you're going to have 12 emails or 16, you see what I mean? You're going to have, that also means you're going to have 12 to 16 people's phone numbers. To me, it worked with 8 people. With my family and friends, I have 8 accounts. This is in my world. And you can do more. You're going to want to change your titles. I personally set up Google Voice, because if you want to put a number, I don't put numbers anymore in my ads, but I may call out of that if somebody needs to speak to me, if they want it. I also, if I do put the number, sometimes you can do in Google Voice, you can do text messaging, but it's free. And I also use that Google Voice for my for one of my Craigslist as well.
Scarlett. People that are new to Craigslist, can you explain the purpose of pasting more than 1 ad a day?
The purpose of placing more than 1 ad a day. Well, obviously, the more that you post, and we're gonna talk about in the next slides where I post my ads. But the purpose is because, well, depending on what you want to use this Craigslist, like I mentioned earlier, if you're using it to capture leads, like when I was doing foreclosure and I was looking for salespeople to help me in the foreclosure, if you're in a network marketing, if you're looking for leads, you're going to want people to be drawn to your capture page to get your information, to either subscribe and become part of your network marketing group, or if this is for somebody who's looking to hire insurance, mortgage, anybody, you're going to want to be able to have as much exposure as possible to get as many, applicants as possible. Correct?
Can I help you with this?
Yes.
Okay. Depending on the genre you post in, as you post, other people are posting. So they go above your ad and it pushes your ad down. So posting twice a day puts your ad back up on top, because as we know, some people are not thorough in their research and will not go very far down the list. So you want to be able to bump your listing back to the top, so a second posting actually puts you back on top.
Exactly, and it allows you to post if you want to post in different areas, like if you want to do a sales and you want to do one in real estate, or if you want to do one in customer service, correct?
Correct.
So that's the other reason as well. Like I may post in different areas looking for different types of personalities. So a Weber application, if you want to be able to do that, a lot of people do get response. You're going to want to, in your ad, have something that's going to capture your leads, and then you're going to want to be consistent in what you're doing. This is what I do. I post in sales, and that's great for the go-getters, for the affiliate side of your business, and for salespeople. I get, but maybe because I'm speaking to that group, because I was in the real estate, I actually get a decent amount of, I've gotten, out of my group that I have right now, 3 people are in the real estate world that have converted into people on my team, but also could be because I speak to that world of people who are just burned out in real estate or burned out in mortgages, if that makes sense. But I've heard not to, personally, I post in customer service, as far as the copying and pasting from home type of ads, and I've gotten conversions with that. But really, obviously, sales, and just I would like to do 2 in sales a day, and then I'd post 1 in the real estate and 1 in the customer service, and that's what works. You can try and push it and do 3, and then be able to do exactly what Deborah's saying. But I do it this way because I don't go back. Once in my time block, I've got time blocks each day for the Craigslist, so I don't do Craigslist and then go back later. That's just how I do that. Small biz ads, hopefully, if we've got time at this, and Deborah was just talking to us and teaching us before our hangout about events, and I'm hoping to get through this so that she can show us how to do that, because that sounds really exciting. In the main cities, like in Tampa now, you have to pay to post your ads. Well, we want to teach you guys how to get free, so I personally post in the surrounding cities that are still free. I believe you can still do, and I'm going to try this after the hangout, after Deborah shows us how to do events in my city, may still be free. So that is the end of the slideshow, and I'm just going to walk you through how I do this, okay? I have 2. Okay. Like I said earlier, I go to Firefox, and I create, because I first want to hide my history. So you would go to Firefox. This is what works for me. You go to a new private window, and it creates. Yes, ma'am.
I want to, before you go into that, let's check and make sure no one has any questions, so that we won't,
exactly, lose everybody here. Does anybody have any questions? And can you read them, Rachel, or do we each go to our own?
Well, I think each person is going to have to look at theirs and see if anyone has any questions.
Okay. Let's look.
I know some of the questions that I ended up getting was, I'll just share some of mine. I did answer them, but I'm going to have you answer also.
Perfect.
One of the questions was, I lost it. Oh, wow. Okay, so basically it was asking the question, every time, is Craigslist going to require that person to put the phone number every time? So you're going to have to call that person every single time?
No, no, and it's actually good. I've never had to redo mine. It says that it's good for 90 days. So I actually just added to Craigslist. Um, like I just set up 2 other emails recently, and it let me use my old number that I had allowed for another one before. Does that make sense? Like my personal cell number now I have on 2 accounts, and they didn't say anything. It sticks for 90 days. So no, it's just a one-time verification when you place your ad for the first time setting up your account.
Awesome, awesome.
Anybody
Anyone else?
else have?
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually in mine real quick. So does anybody else see on their Hangouts that they've got any questions?
Yeah, I do. Someone
Okay.
asked if they heard phone numbers must be local to the cities posted, or your ad will get ghosted.
Okay, exactly. That's why you want to. Um, there's 2 sides to that, which is thank you, because that's a great point. If you want to, here we go. If you want to do in other cities, then ask to verify in other cities. It goes the same as here. So everybody that I've verified on my accounts for here locally has been local phone numbers. But if I have a friend that lives in, let's say, North Carolina, and I want to place ads in North Carolina, then I ask her to help me get that one approved. So that way, then I set it up under her number, so then I can place in a different city. So that is actually a great way if you want to go outside your local area.
Okay, I have a question on that. So then, once you just have it verified, then you can actually place the ads yourself. That friend doesn't have to place them.
Absolutely, because you're using, a different hotspot. That's the way I've understood it. I had one time in a different state. Personally, it's easier for me just to stay within my own. It's like I'm trying to grow my business and keep up and do all that. Personally, I do it within my areas, and I also, like I mentioned earlier, I do pay for my local, for my city, twice a week if I can afford it, because I can. You have a lot more flexibility when you post an ad that's paid. You can do the picture. You can click through. You're going to see when I do this that we have to copy and paste in browsers versus clicking through. So I would definitely recommend that. So I'm going to go over here, and I have 2 screens, so if you're wondering what I'm doing. On my one screen now, I've got my Word document up, and I've got my Firefox up, okay? So I want to place an ad. I just showed you. Yes, ma'am.
I have another question, or actually kind of a statement here. This is Jody again.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm in Canada.
Uh-huh.
And what I've noticed in Canada is I'm in the central of BC, so this might ask anyone else or answer anyone else's questions who are Canadians.
Thank you so much, because I actually have someone on my team that I need to get with you on that.
Yes, and so because I'm in central BC, my local Craigslist and even one that's about a city that's about an hour away from me, they're very small, like less than 30,000 people. So I have actually started my Craigslist in Vancouver, which of course for BC is one of our major cities, and I haven't had any problems with it. So for Canadians, you can even go to, I would probably say, any kind of city that's maybe more than 100,000, start your first Craigslist there, and you shouldn't have a problem.
Thank you, Jody.
I was going to also step out too, and kind of like from what I've learned and what I've studied about Craigslist, if all possible, use the same. You want to make sure your phone number is the same as in that city. It's going to help you avoid so many more problems, because, like you was mentioning earlier, Scarlett, Craigslist has so many technical things in their systems are so uniquely designed that they can pick up everything. So I would recommend, if you're going to post in a city that's 200, 300, 400 miles away to go ahead and get with your friend, give them the ad. If you have to do a screen share, do a Google Hangout, and just kind of give them information. And it really won't take that long for them to do that. And friends just do that for one another. Back to you.
Exactly.
And piggybacking on what Rachel just shared with everyone, I don't know if you're aware that you can get a phone number, a Skype phone number, for $2.99 a month that people can call, and it will verify your Craigslist account for any other area code that you want to advertise in. So let's say you live in Ohio and you want to advertise in Texas. Just go to Skype, pay for a subscription for a area code in Texas, and then you'll be allowed to advertise in Texas by verifying your account through that number. So it's another cheap way of getting another number, because I've used a Google number and it doesn't always work for verification.
Huh. Well, there you go. I always want, my concern with, and I just stay within my area, is the whole IP. I just feel like they're such big brother. But if that sounds awesome, I mean, I can just learn something.
You're still going to have to utilize, for verifying your account, you can use the Skype number, but for listing your ad, you're going to have an IP different than the one you normally use.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, you guys ready to place our ad? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so I go personally, this is going to be a perfect example. I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa. So I would go here to Ocala. That's a 30-minute, 45-minute drive for me personally. So I would go to Ocala and I would post to classifieds, because Ocala is still free. Like I said, Tampa is not. I would go and click on job offered. Now, in the past, you used to be able to do pictures and be able to put hyperlinks. For the free ads, they do not allow you to do that anymore. So I've had to kind of change how I do this, okay? Sales, like we said, for me, I get a lot of responses through sales. So, okay, and I'm going to place an ad, and I'm going to ask that everybody please don't place the same ad, because like I've said multiple times, every time you do your own ad and you do, you don't, if you don't change it, then they might pick up on that. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. So I'm going to go to my Word document, which is on my other screen, which is why you can't see it. And I'm going to, I've already done this behind the scenes so that it wasn't going to take so much time. But I'm going to sales team positions open. I used to always put work from home. I have seen lately that I'm getting more response not putting that in there. You can do either one, but for me, I haven't seen it work. So here's where I'm going to put my Monday Gmail, because again, today is Monday. And the Ocala specific area. And then I'm going to go through here and say, let me pick one of my handy dandy little ads that I put in here. They always say they must be 18. That's always a good one. Okay, I don't want to use one of the ones, so here we go. here. I'm going to post it in here. So I put, we provide training, new agents start within. We pay, so you don't want to lie, okay? You definitely don't want to lie. But I've heard, you know, must be over 18, must own your own computer. And then because you used to be able to put copy and paste to, or actually I will put for an online application. I find this is the best lead capture, is to have them fill out. They're taking action steps to be take more interest, to fill out this online application that goes into your response emailer, and then just have it set up where then they start getting emails. Please copy and paste in your browser. For this one, I would do, like I said, you're going to want, because you don't want anything to, let's do this one. You don't want anything to be repetitive, okay? And then strong, oh, I did that, strong compensation, get paid daily. You can change this, you know. We're not really doing this to teach you compensation, get paid. You're not going to want to use exactly, I'm just doing this for an telecommunic, yes, part-time, yes, yes, continue. You can put a picture in, you cannot put a picture in. They don't have clickable pictures. For this demonstration, I want to kind of get through this, but I'm going to publish it. I have this hide my, just so that you guys can see it. I don't like to cuss on the internet, but you can go through that. I do it through the hotspot on my phone, and that works. But then you're going to want to go to Gmail, and you're going to want to check your Gmail and approve it. Again, I would still keep it hidden. I've made mistakes before of having it in Firefox and then you just click on here, because they're not able to track you still. I've gone through by accident and have done it through my other browser and clicked, and those are the ads I find get ghosted. So I would rather just go ahead and keep it all under this, because this is what seems to work. Okay, so there's our ad. A couple of the tips that I want to give you for this is check those emails. I make a habit 3 times a day, normally at least twice a day, in the morning and the evenings. Go through all those emails, because you're going to have bunches of them, because people may just reply back. And make sure, if they do, that you're sending, you're staying in contact, you're sending them information, because they may have copy and pasted in there and, gone and become part of your sales funnel, but they may not have, they may have a question. So that is really important. I've made the mistake of, in the past, in the beginning, of not checking that and realizing that people wanted information about this, that day, and I didn't get back with them for like 4 days, and I pretty much probably lost their interest at that point. So another thing that is just as important as this is your sales funnel. And like I said earlier, is your lead capture page, or your whatever you're going to do to make sure that you stay in contact with them. There are lots of them out there. I use Aweber. A lot of people on our team use GetResponse. If anybody on our panel has any other suggestions, but I just wanted to show you guys, what it is that I do that's working for me. So if anybody else on the panel has any awesome suggestions or any questions first, let me know. Are y'all there? Hello?
Jody, sorry about that. It takes a little bit to get to the mute button. Let me see. We do have some other questions. I don't know about anyone else, but I do have some questions. Let me go over here. One of the questions was, can you run a paid and free ad in the same 72-hour time frame? You want me to read it again?
Can I run a pay? Well, absolutely, but I do a different accounts. Again, remember, my biggest thing is set up multiple accounts.
But earlier you said that we can post 2 ads on one account, right?
Exactly. So you're asking, can I on the account do one like in my local, my city, and then one next to my city?
That's paid.
I'm sure. I mean, I'll do one. Let's say like the next one that I do, I decide that I'm going to do it in Tampa. Yes, I would do a paid one, and then I normally, but that's just my methodology and keeping track because I can be ADHD. I usually place the 2 ads per account, one in sales, one in real estate, or one in sales, and one in customer service, and then I use the second one to do a second one in sales possibly, or a second one in real estate. That's just how I do it.
Okay.
So if I were to, but I have done that. I would do my extra one in my main city. That is how I would probably do that twice a week. So that answers yes.
Awesome. Okay, hopefully that answered. That didn't answer the question. Sherry, please let us know. Also, the next question was, what is the cost to run an ad?
$25 in my city. Anybody else have a different price in their city?
I think most of them. I think most of them are $25.
Okay. I think Deborah was going to show us how to do some free stuff, and if our cities have paid. I think Deborah's like our computer genius.
Before we do that, let's make sure we don't have any other questions.
Exactly.
Make sure you want to.
Anybody else? I don't, but I don't see any.
Okay, did you check inside of your feed yet?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But let me, mine's having a problem even. I hope people can see my feed now, because I haven't actually checked my feed through this whole thing.
Okay.
How am I doing? Okay, I can always replay it.
Yeah. Okay, so great. So, wow, thank you very much for all of the information that you have provided to us, Scarlett. Scarlett, is there anything else you want us to know before we move to, we have about, I don't know, Deborah, how long do you think it's going to take you? Because I don't want to hold this too much longer.
5 minutes. It's just simply showing people what they can do in an event, as an event.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so any more questions before we turn over to Deborah? I just want to make sure there is no more questions. If not, we just want to say thank you very much, Scarlett. We really appreciate all that you've given, all of the value. We are so blessed to have you on our team and on our Fearless Online Entrepreneurs, and just kudos to you, and you keep rocking it, girl. I look forward to the next one that you're going to bring to us.
Well, thank you guys for everything. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move over to Deborah and have Deborah share with us how you can take events in Craigslist and actually drive more traffic to yourself, to your opportunity. And over to you, Deborah. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, Rachel. And Scarlett, that was some great training you did. It updated my mind on Craigslist, because I hadn't been in there in a while, and this weekend I went there, and I saw where my city now is charging. And I'm not one that promotes spending money when you're not making any money. And a lot of the entrepreneurs that come on board are struggling. So I looked around Craigslist. Let me desktop share.
Hey, and Deborah, while you're desktop sharing, I just had one of my friends tell me that if you go to the bottom of the page on Craigslist, they actually tell you how much they're going to charge for that city.
Yeah. In fact, in my going to repost an old ad that I have in my list, it automatically tells you when you go to repost at the very top of your, and you can cancel out if you don't want to pay. So I agree. I go in my account. If I want to repost an ad, like I was going to repost this financial entity, this Four Steps to Success Hangout, it actually, when you go into it, we go to repost, see it will, oh, wait a minute, this one's not charging. Wow. Well, it did Friday. This one looks like it's an event. That's why. This is under the event page as well. When you go into Craigslist and you want to do it, one way of getting around the cost factor in Craigslist is you can post an event for up to 14 days. So if you go to repost an event or set up a new post for an event, let me make sure I've got everything I want here. Okay, what they're looking for you to do is it'll stay up for 14 days for free. Today is the 31st, and then 14 days from now would be the 14th. Okay. Now the 14. Okay, let's see. And I listed it under classes, or, well, you can do it either under events or classes.
Very cool.
Now, I list locally, and I do put my zip code in, because a lot of people will do a search of where they live. It doesn't restrict you to just that zip code. It just, if someone does a search just by their zip code, they're going to find your ad that way. Okay, I'm going to probably edit this ad later, but this will also allow you to do photos. This free ad will allow you to do photos with your ad, where some of the other free ones, as Scarlett was saying, will not allow you to do photos with the new, pay policy. So, Scarlett, is that correct?
Pardon me?
If
you pay, you can do photos. You can do photos of any of them, but clickable photos you can do when you pay.
Now, are you allowed to list photos with the non-paying areas? That's what I'm asking.
You can put a photo in, but it's not with a hyperlink to click to where you want it to go.
Gotcha.
And another thing, that if a person does use photos, they can use QR code. And if people are familiar with QR codes, that QR code picture can actually, take them to your website by them scanning it with your phone. So that's just another way to use images, is to put up a QR code if you have access to that.
Yep.
And I just pick all the photos that I want to upload at one time. If you're not used to that, if you hold the Control key, the CT or L key, while you're picking your photos, it'll pick them all at the same time. And then you can hit done with images, and then that's the ad right there. Now, when you publish, as like with the paid ad, you're going to have to verify with your email. Oh, it did this time. Boy, every time I do this, it's different. There's my ad. Now, I had to verify Friday. I don't know why I didn't have to today. But with Craigslist, in getting an event, under this section, when you go to your city, finding the section that I was speaking of, and I chose the events, but there's a whole list in that section. Let me find Cincinnati. This is where I was going to community. So, you know, if you're doing a press release, you can put that in local news. There's a general category that you can post. You're holding a mentoring call, or, you know. But if you turn what you're wanting to put in front of people around to something that you're just inviting them to a group call, you can put it under any of these categories right here. I used to do customer service and general labor, and then I used to do where was it? Sales and business development. But these are all paid categories for me now under jobs. So now I'm jumped over here to free community until I outsource and go into these areas. I'm going to really research what the results have been. If it's better with the paid version now, I'm sure it's kind of cleaning up Craigslist because they are charging now. But this is still open to you. Or like she said, you can go into smaller areas of your state and see if you can list in those areas. And like I said, I would get a Skype number. It's $2.99 a month that to utilize a Skype number, and it rings right. You can have multiple numbers on that one Skype account. Okay, so for $2.99, you can validate yourself for other areas if you're a Skype user. And I really recommend getting set up with Skype if you're not, because it's a great communications tool to work with your team. You can set up groups in Skype and all kind of stuff. Is there any questions? This is the classes section. Okay. Now, when she was talking before also, like your ad can get bumped down to the bottom and actually to the next page if a whole bunch of people come behind you and post ads. That's why, you know, where you can ship a post twice a day and put you back up on top. Because some people might not go past the first page. So it's kind of monitoring your ad as well.
Something else that that Deborah, you want to talk about to let them know how they can tell whether or not their ad has been ghosted or flagged?
Yeah.
Or Scarlett, either one.
Scarlett can talk to that. I have never been ghosted. So maybe Scarlett can speak to that, because I'm not sure how that shows up when you're ghosted.
Well, okay, this is the thing. What you don't want to do is go to your email and click, because it's going to show up. What you're going to want to do is go to, sorry, you're going to want to, I just go to Craigslist and go where my ad would be, and if it's not there, guess what? You've been ghosted. So, like on Saturday, again, that's normally when I'll be, you know, watching something with my husband and have my laptop out and just do left brain work. I'll go to Craigslist and see where I, you know, on the days that I place the ads, and make sure my ads are still there. If your ads are not up, you've been ghosted. They've been removed. But if they are, then you haven't been. So that's normally what I would do, how I check it. I don't know if that's right, wrong, or indifferent.
You recommend, and that's the way I do. I go straight to the city, and I look from there, not through the email. Because the email is not going to tell you if you go that route. You need to actually act like you're a consumer or someone looking for something, and go that route and see if it's up there. Correct?
Exactly. That's exactly what I do.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Any more questions? Any more questions at all, ladies? And do you have anyone that has any questions for us? No? Okay, if there are no questions, we want to say thank you very much for joining us today, the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. It has truly been an honor to have Scarlett lead the way and share such great valuable information. Scarlett, you are a rock star, and I am so proud of you. And Deborah, we want to thank you for coming in and sharing the event, because that I didn't know about. I don't know of anyone else, but that was something that I did not know about. So if you found value in what you've learned here today, we're going to ask that you go to our YouTube channel, that you subscribe, like, comment, share. Also, this replay will be up, so if you're saying, well, I missed something, I didn't understand something, you can also find the replay over there. Feel free to leave a question. Feel free to leave a question or comments that you have while you're over there, and one of us will get back to you and make sure that your questions have been answered. And if, excuse me, can someone mute out, please? I'm trying to finish this up. I think I have a Sapphire on my panel right now, and Sapphires like to have fun. So thank you very much for the fun that I hear on the back end. But again, I just want to say, if you found value, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. And if you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, if that's something that has been on your mind and in your heart, we want to encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to this training. And not only can we help you with the Craigslist, we can help you get started, we can mentor you and help you on your way to success and being an entrepreneur. If there are no other questions, we just want to say thank you again to our listeners for coming in and joining us. Thank you for the panel for being a part. And God bless you. And we will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next training. Take care and see you later.